Guess who's Bazak? Yeah, it's been a while since I made a video, but I wanted to do one that was fun, interesting. I think one that everybody finds interest in real estate. Not just real estate, but where is growing fast? Where do you want to be? Where is where are the opportunities? And yeah, I think you're going to find this to be an interesting list. So this is so StatsCan reveals fastest growing cities in Canada, and I think you're going to be interested in what who actually made the top of the list and who's not on the list. So let's take a look here. So I've revealed a little bit too much. So COVID-19 pandemic proved to be no impediment to Canada's fastest growing cities. And really, the Canadian real estate market in a lot of areas, not every area, but a lot of areas has been uh, bursting at the seams, right? I mean, we have there's a lot of record-breaking that's going on. A lot of record breaking, and it's counterintuitive. But I mean, it's for a lot of folks, it's counterintuitive. But what has to be kept in mind is there are a lot of different factors that go into determining a price, right? I mean, there are folks that are have been negatively impacted due to the pandemic. There are a lot of folks that have been not it's tough to say like positively impacted, but they have the change in their work dynamic has afforded them more opportunities, put it that way. Maybe that's the best way to put it. So they no longer are restricted geographically when it comes to their work, right? So they can still make the same good income, but maybe they no longer have to be downtown Toronto. Maybe they can look outside of that GTA core, right? And but maintaining the same income as if they were in the GTA core, which affords them a great opportunity outside. So now you can have a lower cost of housing because your mortgages are less. You can get more house for the same money, right? So now your cost of living is lower. And so you can spend money on all these other things. It opens up it opens up the economies in all these other places, makes them more viable cities long term. And so I think it's actually a good I mean, you can look at it as a good and bad thing, but I think that specifically is a good thing. Right now, we can have more economically viable areas outside of the GTA, further away from the GTA. So if we take a look here, we see Oshawa, Halifax, Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, Kelowna, Calgary, Saskatoon, Moncton, Edmonton, Barrie, and Belleville. I mean, it's very obvious what's not on here. There's no Mississauga, there's no Brampton, right? There's no Richmond Hill. There's there's no Toronto, right? There's no Vancouver, right? So we're seeing areas that have most likely been underappreciated. I know in Cambridge they've been seeing a lot of growth, right? A lot of multiple offers, right? So Oshawa realtors have reported significantly intense competition aggravated by dwindling supply and an influx of buyers from other parts of the country. Local broker Paul Baird pointed out to one recent extreme case in which a townhouse selling for $550,000 received 39 competing bids. That's emblematic of the situation. That's amazing. So this time last year, maybe you'd get a couple of offers because the market was starting to heat up 2 years ago in 2019. You'd be lucky to get an offer in the first week on the market. It just took a lot longer to sell a house. And then, all of a sudden, the demand just surged. Beard told CTV News. Halifax realtor Sandra Bryant said that in her 4 decades in the industry, she never saw as many people flock to her market as they did in 2020. She said this year was a vindication for the market. I've been waiting for this for a long time, 4 decades. That's crazy. That is crazy. But this last part, I think it really just kind of explains the whole situation. Like I was saying, a lot of people are moving out of these dense urban areas or relatively dense urban areas. The desire to live outside the largest urban centers was also reflected in the rapidly increasing housing costs in neighboring real estate markets, a trend that has continued in spite of the pandemic. Personal health, the ability to work remotely, and Higher housing costs are among the most important factors contributing to the decision of many Canadians to continue or to no longer continue living in uh, large urban centers, hardest hit by the pandemic. Why not have a lower cost of housing? Why not have a lower cost of living if you can have the opportunity to? It affords you so much freedom, less stress. You don't have to deal with the same size mortgage every month. Or if you so choose, you maybe you have keep the same size mortgage, but now you have a larger property. How many people can afford to have a backyard in Toronto, right? Now you have all these opportunities just opened up to you, and it's really crazy. So, what do you think though? Like, I mean, do you think this is a good trend? I personally think this is a good trend. I want there to be more centers, economically viable centers outside of like far outside of GTA, just throughout, and places where people can just come and live and have a reasonable cost of living, a reasonable cost of their home. Everything's very reasonable. They can enjoy their lives, they can raise their families in safety, and they can, yeah, everything's good. Why, like that's my ideal for Canada, right? And I think this is having people or giving people the opportunity to be outside of that these urban centers. I think provides that vision, provides for that vision. Anyways, that's the way I look at it. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen going forward? Is this just a flash in the pan? Do you think once this is done, once the pandemic is over, the people these workplaces are going to say, hey, you know what? That work from home thing, yeah, we're not going to do any of this remote work stuff. Please just come back to the office. We noticed that we're seeing productivity drop, and so we need people to come back to the office, and maybe we'll assist you with coming back or something like that. We'll give you so much time to come back. I mean, if that happens, then all of a sudden we're going to see this massive drop in these areas. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because I mean, a place like Oshawa, we had closures, so now you have all these other people moving in. So maybe now a lot of that can be absorbed, you know, um, in terms of people that were moving out, so they don't have to worry about any crash in there. Well, they're not going to have to worry about a crash in the value of the real estate if people are moving out to there now. Anyways, that's everything for me. I'm hoping you have a wonderful day, and leave a comment, like, and share if you think it's interesting. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool video to make because I thought it was I like the way things are moving in that regard. Hopefully, we're out of this COVID thing. Hope you and your family are well and stay safe. Take care.